Willie D Live.
When he first contacted you about the project, I'm sure he reached out to you, right? He
Yes.
reached out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the reason why I said that because I know Sasha.
You know
He's a
Sasha?
good friend.
Yeah.
And Sasha ain't got no problem picking up that phone saying, "Yo, I want to do business with you. I want to do a project." And the thing about him, I know exactly what you're talking about because he only do projects that he's passionate about. So if he call you, believe he's already done the homework. He already knows everything about the person that he could possibly dig up himself.
Yes.
And so anything that you tell him is just going to be gravy. He could pretty much do a hell of a project without any additional information. But when you bring in somebody who has intimate knowledge of the subject like you do, then, I'm sure. And I haven't, and I feel kind of guilty because I haven't watched it yet. I told my girl, I said, we're going to watch it tonight. But I hadn't watched it. I had not watched it. But I'm going to watch it tonight.
Ooh, shame on you.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it tonight.
Okay, so now you have to reach out and tell me what you think because, like you said, between Sasha's genius, and the emotional depth that, comes from the family and his loved ones, everybody did an amazing job. It was beautiful. We got nothing but rave reviews. And I think the part that I enjoyed the most, and I think that most people enjoyed, was they actually learned a lot. It was it was a teachable moment about RJ. Yeah.
Yeah. And it did seem like, from the reviews that I read, that y'all didn't pull any punches. Y'all did show the good, the bad, and the ugly. In fact, hell, it's in the trailer. I was like, oh, whoa, they went there. But I think that's what you have to do. Like, if you really want to be authentic, and Rick was as authentic as they come. And I do not think that he would have wanted you to leave the bad and the ugly out. Like, he had that type of attitude, like, this is who I am, and if you don't like it, fuck. In fact, he said it in, what's that song, You and I? He said something along the lines that I'm not concerned. You can, as far as I'm concerned, y'all can all go to hell. You can all go. I had to listen to it over and over. I remember when I was little when it came out, and I was like, did he say that? They was playing it on the radio. They didn't play stuff like that on the radio back then.
No,
but
totally.
They played it on the radio.
Uh-huh.
Did he say, as far as I'm concerned, they can all go to hell?
Definitely said that.
And they held a note too.
Mm-hmm.
Hell! Whoa, whoa,
yes.
Whoa. That was a jamming song.
Yes.
But that was Rick James. He really did live his life on his own terms, and sometimes to his detriment. But he knew exactly what he was getting into when he got into it.
To the core, as a matter of fact, my dad is as raw, as it gets, and I think that, it's a gift and a curse because here you are, this celebrity superstar, and all your business, as you know, is on Front Street. So now people know when you are making a mistake that we all make these mistakes, but his just happened to be on blast. I'm a true and firm believer that you can actually learn from mistakes. And maybe it took him making a mistake for somebody else to learn that, okay, maybe I don't need to go that far. You know what I mean? So I think everything is a teachable moment. If you're not learning and making mistakes, then how do you improve?
Yeah, by his own admission, he said that I'm nasty and raw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nasty and raw. He took pride in it. Like, man, I remember he said in the trailer, I think I heard him say something about, like, if he don't like Nixon, something about, it's F Nixon, whatever. He said that on I think that was a nighttime show, like prime time. This man said, F the president in prime time. This was, 30, 40 years ago.
Because guess what that is? His opinion. We all are entitled to it. You know, most people are just afraid to speak on it out loud in front of people.
Rick James would have a hard time getting his music out today in this cancel culture. As great as his music was, it was edgy. It was he he walked that tightrope.
A
He would have
thousand
a hard
percent.
time in this type of cancel culture we're in now, like putting out something like Super Freak and Fire and Desire, even Fire and Desire, which is one of my favorite all time favorites. Speaking of Fire and Desire,
Beautiful ballad.
with Tina Marie,
Yes.
the great,
Beautiful ballad.
incomparable Tina Marie. Man, they were something special together. Anytime they were on, anytime those two performed, you already knew you was about to get a show. And it brings me to that fourth annual BET awards show where he and Tina Marie was performing.
Mm-hmm.
And after the performance and everything, Rick was was to pick up an award, and this one girl said something about she didn't know who he was, and that's when he dropped the iconic "I'm Rick James" bitch on everybody.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, Rick James was something else. Now, and here's the thing: like, were you in the audience? Were you?
That was the first award show that my dad and I attended together, and that was the last show that
Yeah,
he attended before he passed away.
right.
Hmm.
Now, at
I
this
mean,
point,
the roof erupted when.
do you know that your dad is that celebrated? Do you know? I mean, you know he's famous, but do you really understand how famous your dad is until you actually go into his element at the BET Awards and all of these people are acknowledging your dad like that's Rick James, bitch. And like, are you
So,
feeling it
so
now?
I'm obviously, I'm familiar with his success and how big he is, but sitting there and in the moment that it happens, the impact, it definitely hits different
Yeah.
because I mean, I felt it. I know I'm going to feel it because I know who it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking around and the whole room is out of their seat,
Yeah. It's
standing
pandemonium.
ovation. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah.
wow, it was definitely a aha moment. I don't even know if he realized it because he's never thought of himself anything less. So it's
Yeah.
like, but yeah, it felt really, really good. It felt good to see that